Okay, so what I wanted to bring in at this point is a little bit off topic, but it addresses the state that you are when you're actually presenting or you're dealing with customers, and how you want that training or that meeting to go. We are all scientists, but there is something about the law of attraction that actually does make sense. We talked about the quantum physics of nature of the electrons, etc., and the double slit experiment, but I've been reading Neville Goddard. He was a mystic, 1940s area time frame, and he started teaching being able to manifest what exactly you want, regardless of your external situation, and that is the hardest part. What he said was, see what you want or your desire as having it from the end. That's a little bit confusing, and that's a little bit hard, because if everything's going wrong for you, how can you see the good part of it? And what he's saying is that your reality is predicated on your own conscious beliefs and subconscious beliefs. And source, God, nature, infinite intelligence will work to bring what you visualize as having, doing, and creating. You just have to do it. It's that catch-22 thing that it is not do, have, and then feel. It's you actually have to have that feeling of having what you desire first, then opportunities come together to bring that to you, and then you take inspired action. I think Dr. Vitale mentions that, inspired action. But this is what Neville says. Neville says, whatever you want, imagine 6 months after it. You have achieved it, everything is fantastic. Imagine the feeling you would have 6 months after what you have accomplished, what you want. Get into that feeling. And this is, he stresses that you want to be in a state of relaxation, sort of like going to sleep, but not quite sleep, where you're still conscious of your mind, but in a very still motion, lying on the bed, sitting on a couch. So you're taking all of the other distractions out of the equation. You get into the feeling of what you hear, what you see happening when you have actually accomplished what you want. And then you work backwards. What did you hear? How was the process of actually achieving this? How did you feel? Did anybody talk to you about it? And then he says, create like a 5-second blurb of what would have happened. Maybe shaking the hand of the customer, they're congratulating on how great your training was. Or talking to your significant other, I just got this promotion, on the phone. And not seeing yourself playing it, but seeing it from your perspective is very, very key. So, try it. I think it's a creative way of visualization, and it is the critical thing, in my opinion, is don't watch yourself do it, because that will always be in the future. Actually get into what it looks like from your perspective doing it. How does it feel having accomplished it, like 6 months in it, afterwards? Because that is not an anxiety-producing feeling, right? If I'm trying to, oh my God, I'm going to get a Porsche, right? It's an anxiety-producing. Whereas if I was 6 months into having a Porsche, driving it for the past 6 months, it's a different, relaxed feeling. And it's that relaxed feeling of getting into what Abraham Hicks calls getting into the feeling of having it. So you're allowing it into your reality. Okay, so try it next time. before you go into your training and see how it works. Okay, it's a good time for a break.